I've got my wife yelling at me now. I don't even know what I've done. But I will tell you this. You asked. It's not like you said. It's not like you have a Hillary Clinton or a Donald Trump sign on your front lawn. No, I have a sold sign on my front lawn. Thank you, Julie, for that. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
Peter Franklin is the Gabby Cabby in New York City. Best tour you'll find in the great city of New York, and he's on the line right now. Peter, good morning.
Good morning. Live from the beautiful streets of New York. Rather cool, but it's okay.
It is a little chilly, but you guys usually get a little warmer than we do. We're at 44 right now.
Yeah, well, you're upstate in the mountains, in the hills, in the wilderness.
Way up with the bears and the cows. Fire department ready to launch an $85,000 drone that will deliver high-definition images in real time as commanders decide how to respond to major fires and other emergencies. What's going on with this?
Yeah, it's a neat idea. It really is. I mean, it's the modern technology. It's good to see that the fire department is up on it. You can imagine what it is trying to watch out for fires and other kinds of problems in this city, the rooftops and what have you. It's not so much the modern high-rise buildings. They're all fireproof, have fire stairwells, and unless an airplane runs into them, they're pretty safe. They're talking about all of the 3-, 4-, 5-story buildings that have been around for, almost centuries. So by having the drones float around over the city, they're going to be able to keep an eye, take aerial photos, and what have you. It's a good preemptive strike. Let's just hope some of the bad people here don't decide they want to shoot them down.
I think of when you come to New York, I don't normally think of oysters, but New York is known for its oysters, but there's an issue going on right now. What's happening?
Yeah, well, if you look at a map, and don't look at it now until Bill is off the air, because I want you to listen to Bill, you have Long Island, which sticks out into the Atlantic Ocean about 150 miles. The first 25 miles of it is Brooklyn and Queens, and then you got all these cute little fishing villages in the suburbs and what have you. And that's separated from Connecticut by the Long Island Sound. On the other side, it's the Atlantic Ocean, but on the side we're talking about, it's the Long Island Sound, which has been historically or hysterically a place for oysters and all kinds of fishing, and it's really been depleted. So what the city of New York is doing, along with the state, and I guess along with your taxpayer dollars also, is taking old toilets, thousands of old toilets, smashing them into ceramic pieces, and strewing them along the bottom of the Long Island Sound, which does something or other to increase the fish and the oysters and what have you.
Ah.
Now, in case you're wondering where we got the thousands of toilets from, which, by the way, is pronounced turlets.
Turlets, yeah.
Turlets.
Sure.
The city, not so long ago, made an exchange deal that if you turned in this is crazy, but it's true, if you turned in your turlet, an inefficient water-gobbling toilet, they'd give you a new one, which is exactly what they had. So that's why New York has all these turlets.
And now what do you do with them? I mean, they're going to do it. They're going to breed oysters, basically. Bring back the oysters.
Exactly.
Like
So look what you learned today. You learned about toilets. You learned about oysters. I mean, hey, this is the place to tune in, right?
It is a bit disgusting, but it isn't. It really isn't. When you just can't put two and two together. You'd never know.
Well, they're clean toilets anyway. I mean, it's not like they...
By clean, you mean used, right?
Well, they're used, but they clean off a little bit. All right, Peter, hold tight.
They had some guy, as you turned in the old toilet to get a new toilet, they made sure the old toilet was acceptable to be turned in.
Good point. Listen, hold tight. I have somebody upset over Donald Trump, and it just so happens to be Donald Trump on the line right now. Donald, good morning.
Hello, Bill. How are you? Listen, let me tell you something. I don't know why you're starting all this trouble. It's really starting to get me angry. I've been on your show many times.
Yeah, I just said I couldn't vote for you, Donald. That's all. That's all I said.
Let me tell you something. Listen, a vote not for me is a vote for Hillary. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that. A vote for me is a vote for America, Bill.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for America. Is that Jim Zecca sounding like Donald Trump there, trying anyway? Peter, here's an interesting story. How about kids?
To do with me?
I don't know. I thought he wanted to talk to you. I guess I'm wrong. Kids.
I voted for him 4 times.
Kids and desks at school. You sit down at your desk at school. There's a new plan underway at Columbia University, and I really kind of think this might not be a bad idea. What is it?
It was originated probably by the Puritans. The idea of this genius at Columbia University thinks that kids will do better if they're not sitting at a desk. So in other words, they will have a desk, but they stand at it and do all their work.
It's a standing desk.
Yeah, standing classroom.
Yeah.
This is probably the result of like a $35 million federally granted, study that found that kids do better by standing. I think it's absolutely silly. The whole point in going to school is the ability to sit.
I guess it is. Hey, sit down. You know what? I got to tell you, most teachers would probably say having kids stand, especially at the elementary level, would be a disaster because they fidget. Kids tend to, especially at the early ages, tend to like move around, and by having them stand, oh my God, it would be terrible.
One of the things that we have in our family is a wonderful keepsake, is that many, many, many years ago, my elementary school teacher, I think it was in the second grade, sent a note home to my mother saying that Peter will not sit in his chair, he just roams around the room.
Yeah. One thing this would stop is the kids from rocking back on the back two legs of their chair and falling over. That would stop that. So
that certainly would.
Listen, it's the best tour in New York City. If you want to go to the Big Apple, then Peter would take you around to places that you really never knew even existed. It is the best tour in New York City. Go to Gabby.com for details. And Peter, thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Peter Franklin, the Gabby Cabby. And Joe is in studio here right now. Are you all upset over the Donald Trump thing? I know you're a Trump fan.
Can I, speaking of that, we just got a message on Facebook from Stephen who says, you just said my personal views are my personal views. Keep them personal then and stop using WIBX as your personal pulpit.
Yeah, and why don't you do the same? Stop emailing us on Facebook. Yeah. Joe, what's up?
Good morning. I don't know.
Joe.
I haven't been here in a while.
You lost some weight, Joe.
Yeah, I'm getting
You
there.
do look thin, man.
I'm working on it, little by
thinner.
little.
Yeah, definitely.
Joe is a big Donald Trump supporter.
Well, I don't know if I say big, but yeah, I'm voting for him.
He's a medium-sized Donald Trump supporter
we'll,
now.
We'll talk about it. He's lost some weight, so you're not what you were.
Well, a little lighter. I'm so excited. We got a lot to talk about because of your house and everything.
There's a lot happening here. You're
a lot going on.
Absolutely right. Donald Trump on Dr. Oz. We have some audio on that. That'll be on today's Dr. Oz.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll get into that one.
Would never thought I'd see him on that show.
Hold tight. It's First News Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.